Remember this day, man, for it will be yours for all time.
If somebody is speaking poorly about you, this is a good sign. It means that the Creator has sent this person to take negativity from you. There is a spiritual law that says when someone speaks badly about you, speaks behind your back, whether it's true or not, and is negatively affecting your reputation, as long as you accept it, you get excited about it, even if you have to fake that, and you learn to love it in that moment, it says that this person takes all of the negativity that was in your soul and takes it upon their soul. You actually transfer negativity, judgment, chaos that you were supposed to go through to them simply by not reacting to them, accepting that this situation came for your ultimate good, and even if you can, getting excited about it. If some...
Yeah. Hail the chat. Before we begin today, I just want to remind everybody that this program is sponsored by Scott's Junk. Scott's Junk is lean, mean, terrible. It is a machine. It is a vasectomized machine, but you can get Scott's Junk at your local grocery store. And please be careful, ladies. It is pretty dangerous. With me today, subscribe to Sporking News Podcast, please. Today, we got a fun one today. We're hitting higher levels, brothers and sisters. We're hitting higher levels of being, understanding, self-mastery, and I got a story for y'all. But before I get into that, my boy, my life roommate, my soulmate, the man who makes up the other half of me, the one, the only, the savage, immortal Coil.
What is happening, my Dragon Storm community? You are listening to the throat of Immortal Coil, one of God's own prototypes, a high-powered mutant of some kind, never even considered for mass production. Too weird to live, too rare to die. It is Monday, April the 8th, 2 p.m. West Coast, Seattle. The day of black sun. And it is time, my friends, to get sagely. It is time to get savage. This video contains copywritten content. However, under the Fair Use Act, Section 504C2, Title 17 of the United States Code, this content is presented for the purposes of education, entertainment through the use of parody, satire, critique, analysis, and/or social commentary by means of subjective opinion. Viewer discretion is advised. Good evening, Stephen. How the fuck are you doing, sir?
I am doing excellent, my brother. I am doing so very good today. And a lot of it has to do with your guidance, my friend, and the guidance of our wonderful people in the Dragon Storm community, which we're going to say hail to right now before we even start, because the chat makes the show. You guys are the reason we're here, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Papa Cotton coming out straight with raw. I would give it to you with no trivia, like cocaine straight from Bolivia. Well, cocaine, well, brother, that's how you live. That's how you live,
Hail to the Wook, hail trans fat.
Hail trans fat, yes. Look, man, BPD magnet, I understand everything you're talking about right there. I understand it all. I get that's as far as I'm going. Lodonis, Dragonstorm, me. What the hell am I calling my own name out for? Subscribe to Immortal Coil. Immortal Coil is almost at 600 subscribers, guys. If you could share out a link to his channel, put it on your social, tell people to subscribe to this crazy man. Tell them the train wreck express is coming through, and we need the other half. We need the other half of these truly twin storms to come together, and we need to get this man monetized. So please, he has a watch list of live streams that we've done. Watch those live streams. Leave them on play. Mute it. Whatever you got to do. Let's get this man up to where he needs to be, so we can start making some money with that channel.
Appreciate you, brother. Yeah.
Always, man.
Yeah, I get monetized. You guys won't be able to shut us up. We'll probably stream a lot more often. Turn this into a career. The impetus here is that we're trying to help the human spirit evolve. We're trying to help heal the hurt. We're trying to set a superior example. We're trying to run a train through your town. Come and sleep on your couch, eat your food. So help us out,
but
guys.
Tell you how much you're worth, and spread positivity.
Absolutely, that is what we are about here. That and fuckery.
Yeah. Gotta have some laughs. Today's about resonance. Today is about the narcissist is actually frightened of you guys.
Oh yeah.
They're scared of your strength, your ability. They're frightened of your ability to say no more. They're frightened of the fact that you are not scared of them at all. This takes the power away from Limp Dick Kruger. All right, because these narcs are full of fear. They are reactionary. They have to try, and they're slimy about it too. I mean, some narcs like malignants will come right at you. I guarantee not all narcissist men are bitches, but from what I've seen, narcissistic men are they're like women. They're uncontrolled fifis, uncontrolled, just horrible women. You can poke at them. You can just spray. You don't even have to do anything but be yourself and shine. And a narcissist will get upset with your display of personal strength. Coil.
Absolutely. Yeah. They're also afraid of their own inability and lack. And sorry, I was reading the chat. You guys.
No, I'm going to go through it in a second.
Some entertaining motherfuckers. But yeah, they lack the ability to create for themselves that which they are attempting to siphon from you. And even having said that, the only thing that they're looking to siphon from you is negative emotion and that sort of a feminine Satan that the gentleman was talking about yesterday. That's a new term for me. I'm not sure where that term originated. He had like
it's Hindu
or something. Okay.
No, it's Hindu, and I tried looking it up. I didn't do any deep exploration into it, but I did find a reference to the Hindu religion.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because I knew that the Muslims called demons al-shaitan, and I was wondering if there was some sort of linguistic, entomological like relation there.
I don't know, but any of the highly intelligent people in the chat have that answer. Please let us know.
Yeah, totally. I know a lot, but there's some stuff I don't know. And when it comes to like language, I have certain things that I'm more interested in than others. So yeah, if you guys know, throw it up in the chat. We'd definitely like to hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they siphon negative energy because they also lack a creative drive. They can sort of emulate certain things and they can learn certain things by essentially ripping off others. So I'm not saying that they're ill-possessed of skill, but what I'm saying is that a lot of their creativity, if you want to call it that, is totally focused on reactionary shit and nothing to do with propelling themselves forward. There's not real content. It's just like cafeteria table rumor mill. And
yeah,
who the fuck wants to watch that? I know I don't. I know the 9,000 plus 10,000 people who are subscribed to this channel don't have time for that shit either. So
9,996. YouTube took over 100 subs away, and this happens. This happens to channels when they get big sub pushes and things like that. I don't know what it is about the system, but they just. So if you are watching this, please check and make sure that you are still subscribed. But listen, that didn't get. Well, a series of things happened last night, and that was one of them, and it all makes sense. And it's it's been a positive outlook for me. Before we do that, I'm going to talk to Jessica. What's up? She says, "Hail the solar eclipse." We're going to talk about that today because part of my story happens during the eclipse. Papa says, "Hey, Coil," and then says, "Sup, dragon fruit." Like, what the fuck?
Oh, he's got you, buddy.
What? You can't tell me that was a misspell. Not after you throw shit out like that. You son of a bitch.
I know that's about as fat as it comes, man.
That's fatty shit right there, boy. Angel's in the chat. What's up, Angel? Good to see you, sweetheart. Thank you very much. I know I forgot to text you, didn't I? Oh man, I'm horrible about those things. I will get back to you. I promise. My love to you, sweetheart. Good to see you in the chat. MC Mike is in the chat.
Oh, there he is.
One of our killer mods. Thank you so much for being here, Mike.
Tesla avatar. Look at that. Man after my heart. You're getting sweet on me, buddy.
Let's see. God, Rookie, you must be, you're high today. Yes. Yeah. Rock on, brother. Hail trans fat.
Hell yeah.
CJ is in the chat, says someone's really bright during the day skies were bright. Yes, I had cloud cover, but that played into everything that was going on. So we're going to go through that. I got a good story for you guys. Anybody else? Jessica is up in the chat. What's up, Jessica? She says, bonjour. Good to see you, sweetheart. Thank you so much for being here.
That's Deborah, sir. You called her Jessica.
Deborah. I'm sorry, Deborah. Oh, sorry, Jessica. I saw Jessica. Deborah, I'm sorry. That's my secretary too. Like, I'm sorry. That was disrespectful. I'll get back. I promise. I'm gonna get something for that. Never celebrate 10K or 1K till you got 20 more. Dude, I had 115. I had 10,115. They took over 100. But it's all good because I'm going to get that back within the next 24 hours, and I know why. We talk a lot on this channel about spiritual enlightenment. This is narcissistic abuse awareness recovery. Survivors coming together from a spiritual perspective. Yes. So my path on this has been a spiritual growth. I was tested by the demonic forces. I was tested by really grimy, nasty people who live in low vibration and want to drag you down. I'm going to do my best to be careful here because I'm not trying to give negative fuel. This is a positive thing. Let me recheck and re-engage. So I'm dealing with the situation, and I understood, thanks to Immortal Coil finally getting it through my head, that no contact is king. Like, no contact. When you don't have contact with a narcissist, that's king. That is the power move. That, because they're trying to siphon it from you. And I have noticed in the past iterations where I've tried to break away from the situation, that saying, maybe we shouldn't talk, creates a crazy reaction.
Right.
So I don't feed it no more. Last night, I can't talk. There's an investigation going on right now, so I gotta be careful about what I say. But after we shut the stream down last night, somebody around 1:30 a.m. came and tried to light my house on fire. And thankfully it didn't work, because a series of events were going on at that time, including, thank God, before I skip ahead, cops came down and were told, fire department showed up, everything's good, everything's golden. The beginning of the day, we started looking for video footage and asking our neighbors. And my oldest he knows everybody around here. There's a company down the street that has, like, camera goes right up the alleyway behind her house. And we started talking to everybody, and at first we didn't get anything. Well, then the solar eclipse starts happening. Everybody's outside. Everyone's out. The whole neighborhood is outside. And they're all trying to check it out, but it's a cloudy sky, so everybody's kind of disappointed and this and that. So we start talking to each other. And the next thing I know, I'm being approached by neighbors with video footage of the time, the area, and everything that's going on. Now, unfortunately for anybody, if it was just like a random arsonist, it is what it is. But fortunately for someone like that, this whole neighborhood has cameras, including the people up the street. So there's an investigation that has now begun. We're going to see where that goes. But I looked at it now. I look at this. I could have taken this at a low vibration line. Last night we played Shepard of Fire for the first time. Hit 10,000 subs, shining, Immortal Coil up in here. Look, we are not taking no contact. Narcissists are dirty. Ain't no point talking to them. Don't have nothing to do with them. Like, that's been my energy. I was also talking with Coil about the card readings that I was looking at, that I was online. And a lot of those card readings were like, oh, your ex is thinking about you and they want you back and they want to have a conversation. And I'm saying, like, no, this ain't right. This ain't right. I don't understand. This is not right. That was part of the old resonance, the old Steve, the person that cared and wanted to play those games, person that wanted to, or have those games played, the one who wanted to trust and believe and be involved in that. That's the old me. Those readings, that is the female Satan. We were talking about that the other night. That is the temptation. But while I'm outside having a conversation under the eclipse, whole neighborhood coming together, because the neighborhood was put at risk. It wasn't just my house, my car, my whatever. The entire block was put at risk. The entire neighborhood is coming together to solve this problem, to go to the authorities. So I am very happy that that's the case. I also not letting it take me down, because the other answer, the old me, would have been like, all right, now we got to one up. Something's got to happen now we got to, but that's not the case. Even if it is. Now, this could have been a random arsonist, could have been an narcissist, could have been whatever. But the point is that their fire, I am the Shepard of Fire.
Yes.
You cannot use my power against me. I am divinely protected. I am doing what I have to do. I am going in a positive direction. I am not allowing anyone to siphon my energy. I don't care what any haters, hate streamers, what anybody says in their chat. I don't care what you say. You give me power. You give me power by taking back the negativity you are trying to put onto me. I am walking the high road. I am protected. My sons are protected. How dare anyone? The karma that's going to come back to the people that did that is going to be insane. And if we can press charge, we're going to press charges.
Absolutely.
Right? Well, no more games. No more. I'm not going to the cops. No more of that. No, this is it. This is it. But I'm not upset about this because I'm protected. When the reason that I went and checked my channel after this is because it said 999. Let me show you all what the angel numbers for 999 means, okay? Angel number 999 signifies completion and new beginnings. It urges trust in the process of life, brings closure to relationships and careers, and encourages reflection and growth. Embrace change. Practicing non-resistance and remaining open-hearted is the key. Hell yes. That's where I'm at. And then Coil texts me at 444. So I'm saying, I don't care. Like, I don't even, I feel good. This is a change, and this is the I am the shepherd. This is the age. This was an eclipse under the month of fire, under Aries, the god of war. Right. I am the Shepard of Fire. I have Aries in my profile. This is my time. This is our time. I am fire as much as I am earth, and you are not going to use my power against me. And in fact, I remove all power in any vessel where I left it, in any situation where I left it, and you can deal with your karma. God takes care of his own, y'all. God looks out. The source will look out for you if you are trying to be right, do right, look out for other people, put out positivity, grow and work on yourself. You are divinely protected when you are doing what your guardians and your angels want of you. I am protected. This house is protected. Someone tried to kill us last night. We are protected. There is nothing you can do. And I feel bad for the karma coming back at you. Immortal Coil.
Dude,
what do you think of my story?
Well, you did everything correctly. Now, last night I actually knocked off early because I've been staying up too late, and I got some shit that I'm trying to do in the middle of the week. So I'm trying to, adjust my sleeping pattern and all that kind of stuff. Plus, be open to the universe. Plus, be open to new friends. I've got people who are asking me for advice out of nowhere because they saw me on Steven's channel, and they're like, "Hey, we heard you're a pretty good dude," and it turns into just like life transformative events, So I pass out, and Steven tries to call and Steven tries to text, but I got my shit turned off because I'm just, I need my fucking beauty sleep, I guess. And I wake up early in the morning, like 5 a.m. my time, and I see what Steven, he gave me like the Cliff Note version. He's like, "Yo, somebody tried to light my shit on fire. I could really use some intuition right now." So right away, I'm rubbing sleep out of my eye. I'm trying to call my buddy back. I didn't get an answer back, so I'm just kind of like, okay, I guess all I can do is leave a message, send him a text, and then meditate on what he asked me to do. So I got in my mind at least 3 things, which I thought was very fundamental about how to handle situations like this. Because on the one hand, it's tempting to blame the usual suspects, but on the other hand, we don't know for sure. But what we do know for sure is what we can prove. So I was sitting there thinking like, okay, he needs to make a police report if he hasn't already. He needs to get cameras and motion sensors if he hasn't already. And he absolutely needs to not go on blast, put this on blast on the fucking internet, because we don't even really know anything. And even if we, and even if we knew something or thought we knew something, not only does that feed the beast, but it aggravates the situation. It knocks him off his high vibration, and it gives cannon fodder to those who need not be fed, right? So I get a call back from Steven, and the first thing he says is, "Yeah, this shit went down, and then like the police were out here. They were taking pictures. The fire department was out here. The police was giving us opinions. He gave us a police report." And I'm like, sweet. I didn't even have to say that out loud. And then he goes, "Yeah, and my oldest, he's going to go pick up some security cameras and shit." And I was like, awesome. I didn't even have to say that shit. Okay, so right off the bat, Steven's instinct is to protect his side of the street, not to go on the offensive, not to have that knee-jerk reaction. In last week, whenever he knee-jerk reacted and released his video, I was just like, dude, that's the wrong look. If you feel like you need to, sure, make a video, but don't upload it. Just wait 10 minutes and see if that's still how you feel. Because sometimes just like blah, 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 you get it off your chest, and then the emotion's over, and then you're kind of like, okay. And it's kind of like,
I've done that. I've done Tasmanian Devil a couple times.
Yeah, and it's kind of like an emotional post-nut clarity. Can we hashtag that? Emotional post-nut clarity?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's and it's one of those things, and I was like, listen, and even if you still like feel that charge, give your bros a call before you upload anything. Because again, like you're stuck in your reaction, you're feeling a certain way, you have no outside perspective, and that's already a sign that you're off of your high vibration.
No, listen, my youngest is on his high vibration. My youngest knew exactly what to do. He was checking. He was like, "Are you doing this?" I was like, "Nah, I ain't doing this. This will do this." And he was like, "That's right." We sat back, and like I said, the community takes care of itself. We're all coming together on this one. You know, this is not something that's going to be like let go. This is scared the shit out of a few people. Narcissists look for fear, and whether or not it was a narcissist doesn't matter. But one cool thing about the cop being here was that he remembered the previous times he had been here.
Yeah.
So there's now a history of certain people
Building a case history. Absolutely.
Yeah, you know.
Absolutely. But what really touched me was like the coming together of your actual physical community. I mean, we talk about the importance of Dragonstorm community, but for the most part, we're spread out over thousands of miles, which will come in handy when the tour begins. But you know, the actual physical community coming together, recognizing the bullshit for what it was, recognizing not only the threat to your life, but the threat to the neighborhood. Because say your house caught on fire, say the tree next to you caught on fire, say it jumped over to the next house. You know,
right? It would have. It was there's a row homes.
Yeah,
the deck's made out of wood. Car was right there. Like it may not have been. Could have been I believe in the random 1%. Could have been just some arsonist. You know, it could have been just somebody like that. Absolutely could have been. Either
way, he posed a larger. Go ahead.
Well, somebody's best friend that I know from Delco was the last person to comment after the stream ended last night with congratulations at 10K. That seems suspicious to me.
Well, and it could be a shark fin out of the water. Again, we don't know. And
we don't know.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is when you cut off a narcissist, you also have to cut out their circle if they are not.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If they're not contributing to your process. Because sometimes people will run back and forth and ferry favors, you know, give little progress reports and
report back to hater headquarters.
You know, and number one, like who has time for that shit? But number two, the type of favor that you're trying to garner will not work out in your favor. You know, you're not going to be elevated by a narcissist ever. Because if they're doing this to somebody that you know, what makes you think they won't turn around and do it to you? Because there's more than it does. You don't have to be in a sexual relationship or in a intimate relationship to become an experiencer of narcissistic behavior.
Yeah.
You know, people do that all the time with their friends, with their coworkers, with you know, teachers and students, all kinds of shit. There's all kinds of arenas where this behavior can manifest itself. So you do better to cut those fuckers out of your life like a tumor and get yourself a new circle of friends, such as the people listening to this kind of program, the chat.
I mean, I want to play this video again from last night because this is what it means.
There's something extremely attractive about someone going through a positive transformation, changing careers, putting their head down, taking care of themselves, making time and space for therapy and coaching, evolving on who they allow to have access to their energy, changing their inner circle, reinforcing boundaries, and overall looking out for their own fucking wellness. And that same attractive quality is the very reason your ex wanted you. See, it may not seem like it when you're a mess right after the breakup, when you're emotional as fuck, when you feel abandoned at your worst. But the truth is, you are built different. You love different. You care different. And the level of dedication you show to those you love, oh, that shit is unmatched. And once you begin falling in love with you again, regaining your confidence and self-worth, organizing and getting your health in order, working on that side business you've been talking about for years, growing in your personal career, shit, now you are becoming the version of self you were destined to be. And each level we grow through, oh, that shit requires a different version of us, don't it? So while in the moment you feel lost, broken, still unhealed, the fact of the matter is you're trying. And not only will that attract the right tribe, it'll also attract the right emotion in you that wants better than your ex could have ever fucking given you in the first place.
Hell. You know what I mean, bro?
That's exactly what we're talking about. You got to stay on your high vibration, man. You got to continue to work on yourself.
Yep.
Once you're once your family drama is healed, once your relationship drama is healed, once your self is healed, you are finally at a position to offer the world your unique gift. And it can only be transmitted from a healthy place. because we don't need to be dragging down the world any more than it has been. We're here to uplift everything. We're here to knock this into the next dimension, people.
Yes.
That's the end goal of all this. We need you to be healthy. We need you to step up. And we're here to help.
And that's what I love about what we're doing. Like this channel's been, one thing for so long, and now it's evolving into something more. Really looking out, real healing, real introspection, real shadow work, real information, working with one another to help each other grow, learn, be strong, lean on one another. That's what Dragonstorm community is about. And there is no one, nothing that is going to knock me off my perch. I am no longer consumable. That's what you have to say. You are no longer consumable to any negative people in your life that wish to lower your vibration, that wants to take you away from your blessings, that wants to take you and drag you down to their level. There is always a higher road. You could be a warrior of light. That is a thing. A light worker is a warrior of light. You don't need to sink down to those low vibrational energies. And the thing about light is that it shines on everything.
That's right, man. I am a self-described part warrior, part healer, part priest. Come at me, bro.
He's an astral Shaolin monk. That's
there you go, man. Yeah, or Jedi. And that everything you just said, man, it makes me want to listen to that black lady that's like, I call back my power, the blah blah blah. From your intro.
Yeah. I mean, that's very important. Been saying this every day, guys. For days, been saying this.
I call my power back to me from every person, place, entity, from every space, portal, time, and dimension, from every connection, attachment, and vessel where I left it. Anyone and anything that is attempting to siphon my energy, you do not have my consent to use my vitality, and I call my power back.
Ah, man. A woman like that deserves an orgasm.
Absolutely, sir. And this now, my brothers and sisters, we are savage and spiritual here.
That's right.
So the savage aspect of that same message is thus.
Give no fucks. Leave your bag of fucks at home every day. Don't take a heavy bag of fucks with you every day where you are going. And give fucks to everyone and everything. Because then you will go home tired and exhausted from carrying around a heavy bag of fucks. Instead, empty your bag of fucks at home. Leave all your fucks locked up in your fucks cupboard and save them for special occasion. And instead go out into the world with an empty bag to fill with the good energy. You will be much happier living a fucksless existence.
I fucking love that. Yes, that is the essence of savage spirituality. This guy is practicing it and he doesn't even know that I call it that. So, hail, leave your bag of fucks at home, you guys.
Absolutely, dude. It's good. You know what, Coil? The ability to, I've had this before because I've not cared about people or just let the universe do its thing before, but I got dragged into the dark for so long that when I reclaim that part of me, I'm again like amazed, like a child, like a child seeing a toy that they really want for the first time, or it's the understanding that the universe heals itself when you're on the right path, when you are doing good for yourself.
Yes.
All right. That's what the narcissist wants to take from you and what they fear about you.
What they wish to deny you.
They wish to deny you because they feel like trash. But when you are a good person, when you try to do the best that you can, learn, grow, going in the right direction, doing what the doors God's opened for you, then everything works out. Everything works out. The beauty of the community coming together earlier was something that is spectacular to me. It was like like one love, it was like, okay, we all got to look out for each other. This is an attack on the neighborhood. And so,
and it's crazy how sometimes it takes acts of violence like that to pull the tribe together. We saw that on a national level after our administration allowed the 9/11 experience to happen, or 2001, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
We as a nation pretty much banded together, even though, there was some negative consequence out of all that. But yeah, we are a human tribe. It doesn't, in times like that, it doesn't matter the color of your skin, your gender, your sexual orientation, your religion, your fucking national creed, all of that stuff. It doesn't matter. We saw one of our own was suffering. We come out to pick them up. That is who we are. That is what the Terran human race is. That is what they're afraid of, us uniting. It says so in the Bible. Look it up.
Says so, yes. Deborah, if you could find Lunar Eclipse Paranormal's link and put it in the chat, I greatly appreciate it. This, I believe this is the lady that read my cards the other night. I believe. Yes, Immortal Coil's been looking forward to this is the channel, so I need to
we need to
put that up
network
in
with
there.
her. We need to network
Yes,
with
absolutely. We'd love to. Oh, hold on. And actually, I've got a video. Let's move into the next video because I got one that you may enjoy. All of us on a spiritual level. All right. Let's go.
You're going to realize it one day. That happiness was never about your job or your degree or being in a relationship. Happiness was never about following in the footsteps of all of those who came before you. It was never about being like the others. One day you're going to see it. That happiness was always about the discovery, the hope, the listening to your heart, and following it wherever it chose to go. Happiness was always about being kinder to yourself. It was always about embracing the person you were becoming. One day you will understand that happiness was always about learning how to live with yourself, that your happiness was never in the hands of others. One day you will realize that true happiness comes from within, and no external factors can define it. It was always about you. You're going to realize it.
Yeah. Take care of yourselves, brothers and sisters. It is about you. We are connected, but unless you are strong, unless you can lead by example, unless you can put out a positive resonance, a powerful light from you, and then that helps others to shine around you. That helps your friends, your family, leading by example, working on yourself, being good, having those strong boundaries to keep out evil. Evil manifests itself in flesh forms, like narcissists. And you have to know how to protect yourself from those types. But if you are shining bright and doing what you're supposed to do, they can come to your house and cause havoc. And the reaction from that is a higher plane of understanding, a higher resonance, working with a community of people, the universe itself protecting you, things protecting you, your angels protecting you. This is savage spirituality right here, brother. I didn't know what else to say, man. Yeah.
Stephen, sometimes people believe that if they just had enough of something, like enough money, enough time, enough, sex, whatever, then they'll finally be happy. But in this, they've got the principle of manifestation in reverse. Matter of fact, if you're happy to begin with, you find that you have abundant time. If you're happy to begin with, you find you have abundant work. And if you're truly happy enough, sure, you'll have abundant sex. Not a big deal. The difference is that in one instance, you're embodying a scarcity mindset, whereas in the other, you're embodying an abundance mindset. And it is from abundance from which your spring will flow forth. I ought to make a short out of that.
No, yeah, do that. That was a beautiful message. My taint chakra is all over you right now.
Tingling.
It absolutely, man. Lunar Eclipse Paranormal. Hey, Christina, I gave you a wrench. Put a link out for your channel and all of that of your friends. Adventures with Beth is also a mod over here, and she's my bestie. She's my Beth. No one can take Beth from me. That's my toxic boo. All right, that's my twin train wreck. But please go ahead and share out a link to yourself, Nicole, everyone in that in your sphere of people, because I love them, and we want to work with you guys in the future for do some spiritual stuff, because we have
absolutely
Mortal Coil. Tell them about savage spirituality.
Yeah, so that shows up on depending on which side of the country you're on. I started at 11:05 p.m. West Coast, and East Coast that's about 2 a.m. And then in Europe that's what is that? That's around like 9 a.m. something like that. 9, 10 a.m. Which is really good for the international audience, but it's sort of it treads into Art Bell territory. We talk about metaphysics, we talk about spirituality, we talk about piercing the veil, we talk about hidden history, and we go into my ET encounters. You know, I've been a contactee since I was 9 years old. I've interacted with dozens of races, and I've also been tapped as breeding stock. So I have a unique mindset, a unique access to different information. I've networked with other contactees, so, you know, trading stories and just sort of gaining a perspective through community, much like this. We put together a killer show. And then I have Steven on. He's come to a lot of the same understandings I have, but his walk has been slightly different, even though our lives have been remarkably similar. Like so similar, it's like almost uncanny. But then that to me is also a mark of the finger of God. You know, just I knew from the first time I saw him streaming, he was gonna be a part of my life, and we would work together. We would do something big together, you know. But I am open to the idea of different panelists, and particularly panelists of different disciplines. So, you know, Christian mystics are welcome, Kabbalists are welcome, tarot card readers are welcome. Stephen's a pagan, you know, just as long as you're about the furtherment of the human spirit and not like self-promoting dogma bullshit. You know, our audience is pretty savvy and they'll call you out real quick. But other than that, you know, namaste. Welcome to the fold. Looking forward to
brother.
it. Yeah.
Please subscribe to Lunar Eclipse Paranormal, and any links that she will be putting out. They are friends of the Dragon Storm community.
That's right.
Yeah, manifest. Let's go on to a narky one. Let's do a narky one.
Like, now that all the enlightenment and peace and shit is out of the way.
Yeah, now let's talk about some real evil pieces of shit. All right. Here we go. Here's one.
I believe all domestic abusers are narcissistic, without exception. The capacity to tell someone, I love you, I'm going to care for you, we're in a relationship, and then to emotionally, physically, or sexually assault them, that's zero empathy. That's tremendous entitlement. It's incredible arrogance. That's narcissism. I believe.
I think she's got a point. You know, I've seen domestic abuse. I've seen people go through it, and from my perspective, as a man, if you're putting your hands on a woman, you're you deserve to be taken out to the docks and pushed off. You know what I mean? Like, that's the lowest form of male. You are not a man. You are scum. And it's not something that I condone and would intercede with if I ever needed to, because I think on just a human level alone, targeting someone for harassments, smearing their name, setting them up for a fall, wanting to get negative reactions out of them for fuel. These are all toxic behaviors and highly narcissistic. There is no way you can be a higher vibrational being. There's no way you can be a decent person, a growing, fruitful, decent person, and set about physically, emotionally, sexually abusing someone whom you say you love, or that has shown love to you. That's disgusting, less than animal behavior.
So this brings up two different tangents in my mind. Number one is when you look in this woman's eyes and you hear the tremble in her voice, you can tell that the truth she is sharing is something that she has personally lived through. Mm-hmm. So
that's Dr. Rami. She's incredible. She's one of the leading voices on narcissistic abuse. Yeah, we're going to cover her. Vaknin. There's some people that I really want to look at who are at the forefront, who have been getting the word out there. And I believe that it's our responsibility to look over their materials, share that with anyone who may not have, and learn ourselves at the same time.
Yeah.
And show homage to those who are leading the forefront in this avenue of healing.
Absolutely. If you're seeking to learn, then you seek out the subject matter experts and you learn from the best. And I'm not saying to Tom, Dick, Joe, Harry, fucking Jane, Jill, is the average person does not know what they're talking about and has not survived something. But especially these people who were pioneers in this field with letters after their name from accredited institutions and all that kind of stuff. They were talking about this shit before it was in vogue, before it was sexy, before there was like a mainstream awareness of the topic. And you know, just as I might have introduced different spiritual concepts to Stephen, I'm not too familiar with the narcosphere myself. I'm just speaking from my own experience and from my own personal evolution. So I'm getting to know these personalities as you guys are. You know, you guys probably know more about this than I do. I'm just kind of firing from the hip about what it means to be a highly evolved human.
Yeah, but you have innate knowledge. See, this is what I've liked about talking with you, is that a lot of the people I've spoken with over the last year plus have been from the narcosphere, you know, the narc abuse awareness community.
Yeah.
And so just like hearing somebody who's like, yo, this is basic principles. This is basic good level human shit. This doesn't happen. This is how you act. This is how you treat people. Just hearing that from you kind of unfiltered and from a spiritual perspective has been incredible to my growth. And I'm hoping, I know that because of how you've helped me, that your knowledge and your wisdom is going to help others, which is why you're here.
Well, I appreciate that. Yes, I'm a healing spirit from source sent to help Earth. I will fully own that. But more to the point, so my own father, when he was born to a teenage mother in the late 50s in the American South. And that was like the taboo of taboos. You don't have kids out of wedlock, especially if you're under the age of 18, all that kind of stuff. So his birth father, his sperm donor, took off, you know, and everybody knows who he is, but nobody like pursued him for, you know, anything. My grandmother was a firecracker, and she didn't need to deal with any of that. My father was raised by his grandparents for a time, and then eventually my grandmother remarried, but she remarried somebody who was not only a narcissist, he was also a wife beater. So my father, as a young boy, had to watch this guy beat the shit out of his mother, you know. Plus he was a sheriff in Texas. So he had the benefit, the benefit of the protection of the good old boy system. So
narcissists love being cops too.
There you go. So there's literally nowhere for her to go. If she left, she would be found. If she retaliated, the charges would be dropped. You know, that kind of shit. What ended up happening was that my dad grew physically much larger than this man. And eventually when he was 17, he wound up pulling a pistol on the guy. And then what did my grandma do? She came out. She's like, no, you can't. No. Because she wasn't done getting the shit beat out of her yet, apparently. So my father points at his stepdad and he goes, "You're a fuckhead for beating on women." And he points at my mother and he goes, "You're fucking stupid for letting him beat on you." And then he went and joined the military, but he carried around that anger and he had that example. And, you know, that was his fucking shit to work off. And, you know, from a spiritual perspective, that's the man I chose to have as my father. So there are certain strengths and benefits that he derived from all of that stuff. But his trauma leaked into his parenting style. So, I mean, the effects of narcissism and physical violence, especially like if you do it in front of your kids, and we know some hypothetical scenarios where bad examples are being set.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. This trauma carries on, and if you don't resolve it within yourself when it's your turn, you will pass it on to your offspring. Guaranteed.
And but the narcissistic or the toxic people don't care. They're worried about their fifis getting that, you know, they're worried about their selfish desires, their lustful, hedonistic desires. They're worried about getting those drugs. They're worried about getting that negative fuel. They're worried about creating another unstable, toxic situation, fight, or argument in order to destabilize everyone and keep them locked in trauma. This is the function of these types of people. Nothing good can come from them, from their example. And they don't care about the children that are affected in their sphere of influence. No, they don't care about them. They'll be okay. It's all about the narcissist. It's all about the toxic person, not the kids involved. And this is how generational trauma continues on. This is passing on pain, and we do not pass on pain.
No. And if you treat your children like shut up and go to your room, guess what's going to happen when you're old? They're going to fucking abandon your ass. You know, and here's the ironic thing, Steven, is that this guy adopted my dad, and then my dad got his last name, and then I have his last name now too, and he's a total piece of shit. You know, and I'm not about to dox myself, but you know, it's odd. And I also think it's also one of those spiritual, like, slip a fucking ace into the deck. Because if I have a different name than my actual bloodline, then, you know, it's a little bit more sneaky, I guess. All right. What else we got?
A couple comments real quick. I just want to mention out here. Jessica says, narcissists and toxic people literally built to be predators of good people. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, they have to consume the light of others, but before they can consume it, they have to bring you down into a negative, low vibration so that they can eat that negative fuel. Positive to negative. They love negative fuel more than they do positive.
Sure.
She also says that they naturally know when someone is a good person. Yeah, they know when someone's a good person. When you believe what they say, when you take them at face value, when you think that smile is genuine. Yeah, they love that. That's the part of the deception.
Oh yeah, they're often charming motherfuckers too.
Yep, and they have to be charming because they're illusionists, but that illusion fails them eventually, as Chloe was just saying, especially if you're passing on generational trauma, if you're, you know, just being evil and using people over and over throughout your life, you are going to degrade. That light, that illusion, that blessing that evil has given you, that darkness has given you, is going to fade. That darkness does not take care of their own. The light does. Source, God does.
Right.
Ask yourself if someone is adding or subtracting toward your already happy life. Absolutely. If someone, it should be, especially after we come through narcissistic abuse, it should be one of our functions to have strong boundaries and be able to discern who is worth our loving, compassionate, kind heart, who is worth our time. So there may become instances where you've got to take an L because you're helping somebody else. You're picking them up off the battlefield of life. You're helping your fellow soldier off the battlefield of life. That may happen. But that is your choice. And that should lead to two strong individuals walking together, two friends, lovers, family members, whatever the case is.
Right.
Leading by example. Discern whom you help, because your energy, your time is precious.
Narcs will ask, what can this person give to me? What can I get out of this person? Healed people will say, how can I invite this person to the grandest version of the greatest vision they ever had of themselves?
Right. How can I add to their lives? How can we add to each other's lives? That's what a relationship should be. How can we add to each other's lives? Through love and connection and working and experience.
Right. How can we take two entities and make a third element out of it?
Exactly. Right. It shouldn't be, how can I punch this broad and then take her from behind without her consent? You know, that is the opposite of good. Okay. There's nothing good.
Can I extract from this person?
Lunar Eclipse Paranormal says it runs down families. It's sad when they grow up in that it's all they know when they do it too. It's sad that it happens. I mean, though, that's the creation of the narcissistic shell, which all of us who have been through abusive childhoods or abuse in our childhoods have actually had to create at some point. But the difference between a person who heals is someone who no longer at some point needs that illusion, needs that funhouse mirror of bullshit, that alternate reality around them. And they begin to introspect, integrate their shadow self, seek truth. Why am I true? Why am I feeling like this? What is the truth of this matter? That is a person that heals. The narcissist reinforces that bubble with a fake face and another fake face and another fake face until they are just like an onion of falsehood. And they're not looking to add to anyone's lives. They're looking to subtract from your life, take energy from you, your experience, pass on their pain. They don't want to be the only ones who hate themselves. They want to make sure everyone else is angry and sad and nasty and vengeful and as awful and terrible as they are. They're demonic. right? Satan's ball hairs. That's what they are. And right, and that's why they can never. That's why if you have an empowered person who knows their worth, who is doing what they're supposed to be doing, it is putting out positivity, is not coming at anyone with falsehood, exploring themselves, growing. You are protected by source. You are protected by the divine. You are divinely protected.
Now, since you're interested in paranormality, I'd like to interject a little bit of like a spiritual perspective here, especially since you're talking about generational and familial lines. When prior to incarnation, we examine multiple different possible familial lines and family circumstances, and depending upon the goal of the evolution of the particular spirit, we select the people, places, and major events of our life. And you'll know it, especially if you're metaphysically sensitive, you'll have like a bizarre feeling or like deja vu or something whenever you come across one of these major life events or major characters in your own play. But it's especially like with our familial lines, we choose the genetics that'll be optimal for us to express ourselves within, which includes whatever trauma we have to heal from, whatever issues are visited upon us, and which isn't to excuse it. And I'm not saying like, be a martyr or like lamb yourself off whenever stuff like this happens. This is actually meant to increase your awareness about why it happens.
Yes.
And then how to recognize it when it is happening, so you understand how as a spirit to position yourself for optimal evolution. Because the spirit seeks to heal. It seeks unity, it seeks love, it seeks to basically replicate the conditions of source as your incarnate being, an enfleshed being. And the only way that we can do that is initially we have our family. That's our first training ground. That's like kindergarten for an incarnate being, especially on a planet like this. And then, like I've said before, you progress from a familial setting, you go to school, you get into a relationship, and all through this, you're like accumulating baggage. I don't want to call it karma, but baggage. Let's just say that. These are your training relationships.
Right.
You heal from your training relationships, and then you're in a position to offer your unique gift to the world. Your unique perspective, your way of healing in a way that only you can spit it out. That's a savage perspective.
That is some savage perspective right there. And choo-choo, everybody. The Trainwreck Express is coming through. And we get to 50,000 subs. Mortal Coil and I are traveling across the country to meet a lot of you, to go create meetups where we can, two slightly crazy mofos spreading positivity and telling you how worthy you are of life and love, how to protect yourself and be proud of you and pat your back. And then the after party, ladies.
There you go.
So, Lunar Eclipse also says, on a woman's standpoint, going through something like that, it's hard to leave the fear of harm to you and your life being taken or your kids. If you have any that can be hurt, I evolved. Involved. Any involved.
Yeah.
Yes, and we've heard this story time and time again. Narcissists, women and men. Men more so, I think. Women are more psychological, but men, yes, they that's why they beat women. That's why they put things up their ass. They are not men. They are control freaks. They are the emperor in reverse. They are the king of wands in reverse. They are, all the kings in reverse. They are someone who is going to try and instill fear. That is how they operate. They want everyone to be as afraid of them as they are of facing themselves. And so, unfortunately for male narcs, it doesn't work when you come up across another man who knows his worth.
Right.
But when it comes to women, they're terrorizing you. They're stalking you. They're going through your socials. They're hounding you. They're threatening you. It's violent. And the narcissistic men just need to be castrated and thrown to the four winds, man.
Well, you look at the innate nature of a female, right? She's not as physically strong as a man, and she's inherently more emotional than men as well. So you take a man who is trying to exploit those weaknesses. Of course, he's going to appeal to fear. He's going to be physically threatening to you. He's going to be emotionally dominating. He's going to elicit
emotionally dominating like a insane broken child, like a toddler in a man's body, like a woman with her pH balance through the roof. Like just off. Yeah.
So I mean, a true man, his role is to protect, provide, and provision. And you take a narc man, and he's going to turn those into weapons of fear. He's like, he will intimidate you so that you don't feel. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. A narcissistic male is the dark feminine.
There you
go.
A
narcissistic male is the dark feminine. They are the dark female. That's why they do what they do and the way they act that they act, and they try and play games. And it's a beautiful thing when you see an overt narcissist encounter a covert narcissist, because that woman will out manipulate that man every day of the week.
Oh yeah, and then you're dealing with a beta bitch, which is the
not even that, because the covert narcissist loves getting hit.
Sure.
The covert narcissist loves all that drama, being chased down, and all that. That they want me. I love the negative fuel. He loves me. He wants me. That's how the covert looks at it.
Right.
It's a sick cycle. But in either case, you're dealing with someone who is so selfish that, it's strange to me how many times I've seen overt male narcs with a feminine perspective, and then female narcs with a very male perspective. Like both toxic, the dark energies of those.
Oh yeah, it's like the same mental illness expressing itself. It's just the innate characteristics of a male and the innate characteristics of a female manifest themselves in differing ways, Well,
I'd say, men, by our nature are, we kind of bottle things up. And I'm not saying it's healthy, but we kind of bottle things up and push through. When we build
society
the roads.
encourages us to do that. Absolutely.
Yeah, right. We hunt, we gather, we're protectors of the home. Like we're supposed to protect women and children, not hurt them. Right. And so that is a masculine energy. That's a masculine feature. So when a man is the opposite of that, and he's a cheater and a liar and blame shifting and having emotional, unregulated emotionally, hitting women, doing acts of violence around kids, treating them poorly, those are dark feminine aspects. That's what you would expect from a toxic woman. That's what you expect from a welfare queen. That's what you expect from someone like that. Whereas on the flip side, you have women who use their sexuality to manipulate. So they're taking semen in every orifice, all the time from different men. Yeah. And that changes the chemistry of a woman. You're taking in that DNA constantly, those energies constantly, like that changes you into a masculine woman, a very masculine presence.
Yep.
And so, but it's toxic. It's a toxic masculine, because you're taking those under the guise of, you're taking that energy and all that from probably crap men, other terrible men, but also good men. But but no matter who it is, you are taking it from a negative, vampiric, succubi type of perspective. That is how you're engaging the situation. You're draining someone else. It is inherently, by its nature, anti-source. Is anti-connection.
Sure is.
I didn't mean to cut you off and go on. I didn't realize I did that. I'm sorry, buddy.
No, it's all good. The conversation's circular, especially when it involves spirit. But essentially, you covered pretty much everything I was about to. I was just going to say that the males will take that protector, provider, provisioner, and threaten the female with the inverse. It's like, I'll starve you and kick you off my land, and if I'm going to beat you and you're a piece of shit, what do you think everybody else is going to do? You piece of shit.
This is insane. Yeah, I get that. And like you said about circular energy and people coming around. Yeah. We're learning more about our friend here, and she's a survivor. This is a survivor and a thriver right here.
There you go.
Thank you for being here, sweetheart. You're welcome to Dragonstorm. We are Dragonstorm. You are a member of this community, and we help one another rise.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Let us know if you have an X account. We got some networking we should do.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I live with a narcissistic person who is person was married to him. He did not show that side till after a year and a half of being with him. Now, he never called me names and never laid a hand on me, but he was mental. Well, not all narcissists are abusive. There's different types of narcs, and what they went through in their childhood is usually what they resonate as adults and do toward people. Did he cheat on you? Was there, okay, yeah, he would accuse me of, yeah, he cheated on you. He would accuse me of cheating, and I never went anywhere by myself. Nowhere except work. So, okay, this is the type of narc. I know this type of narc. This type of narc has control issues, and yes, they're cheating on you all the time, and they're accusing you of that. That's narcissistic projection, and that was the abuse. That was his abuse. You were the stable primary supply, and he was out messing with the secondaries all the time, and he had you locked down. He had that feeling of control. Nobody could touch you because you were his object. You're his thing. He doesn't want other men playing with his thing. He owns you. That was the way he looked at it. But he is perfectly fine to go out and do whatever he wanted with anyone else because he's justified in doing that for whatever reason he made up in your head that you were being a terrible person while you were not cheating on him, being a loyal wife and staying at home. That's how these scum operate. I went low vibe, right? I'm sorry I went low vibe there for a second. There's something I don't understand. It confuses me, sweetheart. It's like I consider myself a pretty decent man. I got rough edges. I have my own crazies. Yeah. But I look out, support, children in a home. Doesn't matter if they come from me. They're children in a home. They are protected. That is how I feel. And I understand that having to change myself and do my shadow work was necessary in order to attract a proper mate, a proper woman. Because I was not. I was attracting succubi and toxic women. Why is that? Well, it's got to be something within me. But even then, it's just like there are so many of you beautiful, wonderful women out there, my sisters, my fellow survivors and thrivers. And this is why I talk to the men all the time about leading by example. We need to push through again. We got to eat that pain up again and be examples of good men in this community. So our sisters can see the ones that are broken, the ones that don't know if they can love again, the ones that were used for how long and destroyed. We need to show them that there are brothers out here that represent the divine masculine. That's so important because I feel bad for you ladies. You go through these relationships and be loyal to these garbage ass, putting things up their butts, trash ass men, that do not value you and do not value what you bring to the table. Because we're out here. All right, the choo-choo, the train wreck express is coming through. We're out here. And I love you, sister. I'm sorry that you went through that. Thank you for being here and being a part of this community.
Yeah, welcome. We appreciate you. Oftentimes, these kind of people will accuse their victims of the behavior that they themselves are enacting. So especially if something comes out of fucking nowhere, you're cheating on me, aren't you? It's survivor guilt. They've been cheating on you the whole time. There are also energetic consequences to sleeping with somebody who is a cheater, because everything that they're dipping their wick into, they're bringing back and sticking in you. If you are with somebody who cheats and suddenly you manifest different behaviors or different ways of thinking, that just that's
spiritual STDs.
That's right. That's not coming from you. That's coming from the other people that he's cranking down. Same thing with ladies, fellas.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's getting DNA from around the block, and then you stick yours into that. Yep. Yeah. Then the next thing you know, your wang's like an antenna, man. And then you're absorbing all this other stuff that has nothing to do with you or your process. They're actively out there disrespecting you. And also, like, the same thing applies if you're in homosexual relationships, same thing applies. The
exchange of sexual energy is an exchange, no matter if it's male, female, or hetero or homosexual.
Exactly correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And another thing, ladies, we got to be out here because people like Papa Cotton, BPD magnet. Hail, brother. I understand. I'm BPD magnet myself and a narcissist magnet. it's lady, we need to get these ladies strong. We need to get our sisters strong so that there's some good women out there that can prove Papa wrong. Like Papa's already given up. A lot of us have given up. Like we don't want to date. We don't want to be with nobody, but that can pass. That can absolutely pass by knowing your worth and changing what it is within you that attracts the right person, the right people, the right environment. Work on you. That's really what I have learned the most is work on you. Do not be concerned with relationships. That let that come as you work on yourself and better yourself. And that just will come.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about it. There's a movement called MGTOW, which is men going their own way. And it's a reaction to female narcissism, essentially, like the self-entitled princess boss bitches who, you need a 6-pack, 6 figures, 6 inches, all that kind of shit. And it's easier for men to just, leave that shit alone and do their own thing. The thing is, it's healthy for everybody to have preferences and maintain their own boundaries. It's not healthy to be demanding of other people. It's one of those things. I know what I'm looking for when I'm out in the wild. If I don't see it, then I don't bother approaching. It actually takes quite a bit to impress me to the point of commitment, because there's good looking women all over the place, but I have spiritual requirements. I have intelligence requirements, all that kind of stuff, which isn't to say like I'm going to be rude and dismiss people. It's just like,
Jessica?
Yeah.
You hear his requirements, Jessica? I'm telling you, you're hitting check boxes all the way down, sweetheart.
I'm just saying, and especially for somebody who's been with women literally out of this world,
Listen, it takes a lot. Extra. It takes a lot for this man to have sex with a terrestrial being. All right, that means you are special. You are very special.
Yeah, you can join the elite few. But I mean, like as far as male thinking goes, the sex only category is like equivalent to the friend zone for women. Guys will pretty much have sex with most good looking women if they're acting on their base instincts. But for like relationship material, for wifey material, it takes something extraordinary, and that's just something that's not in abundance in today's society, at least as media promulgates it. Now, I'm not talking about anybody listening to this program. If you're listening to this program, you're already on the healing journey. You already have a fast track in.
I want to go.
Yeah,
I'll go through a couple more comments, then I'm going to hit another video. What it takes, what it would take to convince me to indulge in another long-term relationship is so wildly unfair. I don't expect any rational woman to put up with my damage. Well, there is another person that can fit you, but you've got to handle your damage. You've got to regulate that. We're all damaged. We all got damage, Papa. It's how you confront it, overcome it, want to change it. If you don't change it in yourself, like my son was saying something. My son did clean the whole kitchen, by the way. All the stuff that was lit on fire last night was all the stuff he cleared out from the kitchen. We're cleaning this house. And the reason he did it was because he was watching a TikTok video, and the TikTok video says, I don't know if I can get into a relationship anymore or again, because I don't trust other men. I don't trust other people. And so the person that was interviewing them said, so you trust that you can't trust again. Right? And right, and it was a whole video about that, just kind of like bouncing back the idea that when you think in toxic ways, that you create your self-defeat. I have to trust in myself to be able to discern who a good woman is and who isn't. I have to trust, and I can't base that on what I can in a way base that on what I've been through historically, but those have been lessons to lead me to where I need to be in order to discern what a healthy green flags are, what a healthy person is.
Totally. A healthy, evolved perspective has different relationship requirements than just like the average, like wolfhound hunting down a fucking cat,
Right. Yeah. Right. If you're a bitch, you're gonna attract bitches, like if you are looking for conflict and drama, if you're looking for that toxic level of excitement, then you're going to attract that to you. Find out what it is in you and heal that, confront it, regulate it. Everybody in this community is crazy to a point. We all got damage.
Sure.
But it's it's controlling that, pushing forward and continuing to be a better version of yourself. That takes away those easily triggered aspects that toxic people can hit. Those buttons. They can't hit those buttons anymore if you have a confidence and you have boundaries and self-worth that's like shielding from those weak points in you. And they're not even really weak if you have control over them and confront them. We're going to move on. I see some new people in the chat and I want to get to them. But first, let's do another video. Why not?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Here we go.
Stop apologizing to the narcissist for shit that you didn't do. If you're new here, my name is Randy. I'm a toxic abuse recovery coach. If you're serious about your healing journey, make sure to hit the follow button for more content just like this. Narcissists are skilled manipulators who use DARVO, deny, attack, reverse, victim, offender, in order to push back on you, make you out to be the abuser and them out to be the victim. This leaves you in a position of wanting to apologize a lot of times for shit you didn't even do, shit that doesn't even make sense to apologize for. But this is what the narcissist wants. They want you to feel like the problem. They want you to feel like it's your fault. You're the narcissist. You're the abuser. But this is just manipulation, guys. And the more times that you forgive a narcissist, the more you're just empowering them and letting them know that it's okay to do these things because you're sorry. You forgave them. It's your fault. Don't get trapped in this game with a narcissist. You will never win against them. Simply, they do not give a shit. They don't have empathy. They don't put any real stock in the truth. They simply live in delusion. They live in lies. And all of those lies are nothing more than a way for them to control the narrative about how the world views them, about how you view them. Next, when they use DARVO, they're going to change everything to make sure that they control the narrative of the way people see you and the way that the world sees you by painting you out to be the fucking abuser. Stop apologizing.
Stop apologizing.
Yeah, you know the greatest con that they pull on us, Steven, is they use the fact that we think that they are loving us the way that we are loving them when they know it's not true. They don't have the same heart capacity, you know, and you can tell because they think of it as a game. Oh, if this person loves me this much, then that means I can do X, Y, and Z, and I can get away with A, B, C, D, you know.
And it comes from childhood. It comes from what they went through as a child and how they were reared and the damages that was put into them is what they project off. That's why some narcs are physical.
Did you say how they were reared?
Yes, how they were reared. Yes, how they were. Oh, hold on real quick. Thank you so much, new member, Lunar Eclipse Paranormal.
Oh, look at that.
Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you.
Welcome
I guarantee you
welcome
the
aboard.
money is the reason I have one tier and it's the amount that it is because there is an entire trove of Walton losing his shit and things in the member section. Live streams I've taken down, videos. I sometimes do live streams or videos and take them down. Either because I just wanted to have a message put out there and say what I needed to say. And also, you know, sometimes they need to be taken down. So they're all there, most of them. And if you are interested in the who's and the how's and the what's and the why's, they're all there. But I don't talk about that anymore in the open. Those are for people who want to go through the paywall. Thank you very much for being a supporter of this channel. And dude, that is incredible. I need to find a right one. Here we go. I'm going to give you this one. Oh, damn it.
Hot! Too hot!
Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Narcissists in their early development, that's where they get the damages that they pass on. You know, male narcs have mommy issues. That's why they hit women, hate women, and they put things up their ass. Women narcs, you know, they were hit or you know, hit by daddy or abused like that. So they look for people who are going to treat them that way. And that's where they're going to get physically violent. This is just the nature of the beast. But yeah, stop apologizing to these freaks, these fools. That, as Coyle was saying, they don't know how to love, or they are not evolved enough to understand what healthy love is. They don't know. It's not a part of their makeup. It's not something that they were taught or allowed themselves to learn from a healthy person. Because when you live in cycles like that, when you're that toxic, you look for other toxic people. You want to create, spread damage, and you want those who reinforce your toxicity and traumas way more than you want a good person. The good person is the enemy to these twisted people, which is why, as Jessica said earlier, they hunt good people.
They sure do.
Let's see. I would like to say hi. I saw her in the chat for a while there. Christina and the Ghost Squad. Hail, sister. Good to see you, Christina. We want to work with you guys. We want to work with your network. Making you a moderator. Please share a link to your channel. And if you are on X, please check out me at Lodonis or at Immortal Coil. Get up with us because we want to network. We're in this kind of the same wheelhouse. Yeah. If the person, Papa Cotton, wisdom from the great Papa Cotton. If a person you are with is accusing you of cheating and you're not, they 100% are cheating on you. Absolutely.
That is correct. Hail to the Wook.
Hail to the Wook, yes, sir. Yep. Jessica says that that charm is mirroring. It's their fabricated version of who you are. Yes, that's another one of the fake faces they put on. Fake face over fake face over fake face until they're just a mess of fake people. I have seen a narcissist tell 3 different versions of the same story. That hypothetical narcissist was very high. And the hypothetical narcissist was in the living room, told us, I heard it. I'm in our bedroom. And heard the story told to one person, comes in, tells it to baby daddy, then comes in, starts telling me a version. Then baby daddy comes in and she switches right back over to the version she told him. And as she's doing that, I looked over at baby daddy. We looked at each other like we both knew. We both were on the same wavelength. Like, she's full of shit. Yeah, we both knew that. Like, she was just lying. And this is how they are. The moment, even before an event happens, they've already created a narrative and lie about it. During that moment, that version of events is entirely different than what is actually happening. And just after, whatever victimhood narrative they didn't do it, story they have to come up with, whatever projection they need to make, that is what they do. It's all about lies.
No, I've seen it happen like 100 times. People who are addicted to drama, they'll run around like The Office, say, and everybody they run into, they'll tell the same like terrible story of this shit that happened to me and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And similar thing, Stephen, I watched somebody go and say this terrible, like dramatic story. Then they run up to me and say the same story, but then I offer them a solution. And I'm like, well, did you think about it like this? Did you try this? And they're like, holy shit, I never thought about it that way. Thanks. You really helped me out. And then they run off to the next person and I can hear them saying the same shit. So they're not even looking for solutions, man. They're looking for that energetic feed. They're trying to siphon off of your symphony. Or sympathy, sorry.
The symphony of the strong.
Led the rats through the streets.
Yes. Yeah. That's going to be an intro. We're playing that for an intro sometime soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah, I got to change it up every so often. I believe that through each life, you learn and you grow. Then you take what you have learned into your next life. Now, sometimes you don't remember the past life, but yes, through deja vu or that feeling. Coil, that's savage.
Yeah. So yeah, we definitely set up signposts. We definitely have major life goals. Especially like I actually believe that we do have the potential to achieve nirvana in a single incarnation if you get everything right. But I also know that we are also human. So a lot of times we tend to, especially when we're younger, we'll go with our more base natures and we'll, react as children do, essentially. But yeah, say you master a major life issue, like Stephen finally got it together about narcissistic abuse and being a victim and probably likely from both sides. He was probably a grand narc at some point. He had to come back and chose to enact the role of being somebody who narc is visited upon. So now that's balanced out. He has that on his resume. He's got that badge on his fucking baldric and he doesn't have to do it anymore. So next life it's on to something else. Now say like in between, like, he's only in his 40s. He's got You know, if medical science is any good, he's got another 80 years, right?
Oh
Now,
God, I don't want to
now-
be here 80 years. What? Oh, it's 120.
Yeah. Well, but say like in his time, however long that is, we use this platform, we wake up 1 million people, then that counts for something too. So
Yeah.
you took something that was like a major life issue, you transcended it, you healed from it, you made other people that much better because of it. Then that means, man, you made some leaps and bounds ahead. So your next life could be even better. Shit, he might have
I
the
hope so.
vacation life next time, you know?
In the next life, could I have a hot, slightly crazy blonde, very sexy, and it's just slightly crazy, and a good life, like one who loves me? That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to have that.
I think
And
I'm
no
gonna
Asians. That's it. I'm done with the Asian thing. No, I don't care. Mr. Tickle Trunk ruined it. I'm not trying to find a lady boy. That's not. Please do not listen to the rumors. Okay, thank you. Jesus.
I think I want to bathe in the light of Source for a little while, and then I want to go live on a planet where everybody's healed and has their shit together for at least one lifetime.
I'm following you on the next incarnation, buddy. I'm following you. I want to go off planet. I need to go. I need to get out of here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely. All right, let's go through and a few more from our new channel member. Lunar Eclipse says he never kept a job, and he said he could not work and worry about what I'm doing. Wow. He said he worked very little. He was very good with kids. He did nothing or said nothing in front of kids. He said that's good. I good, but his target was you, and by de facto, by going after the woman of the house, he is affecting the children. Like that's energetically.
That's the thing. So if he just like whispers something in your ear or pulls you aside and makes a snide remark, and then you're expected to put back on mom face and smile and make Rice Krispie treats, that's also very manipulative, and that's like kind of next level narcissism. Because I mean, at some point your kids are gonna become aware that something's wrong, like mom's off, or she's always just like, okay, go ahead. What do we got?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but he would put the kids in the middle of trying to leave him. He got them to beg me to stay and not leave their daddy. They were 4 or 5 years old. Oh, he's a manipulative person. He finally ran with them to another state. And he's training these kids to be flying monkeys. He's training these kids to be manipulative and toxic.
Telling them who the fuck knows what about you.
A hypothetical mother and a hypothetical daughter. The hypothetical mother constantly, being in a toxic situation, running through drug circles, being abused, cheating, running around, abandoning this kid with other people so that she can go do her dirt. And this hypothetical kid is so aware, so smart, because they basically had to survive on their own around all this abuse. The hypothetical kid is manipulative now.
Yeah, kids are not dumb people. They're not
dumb. They're sponges.
Yeah, and they're highly adaptive. Yeah.
Yep. I got them back in 3 days. If you are married, it is not against the law for one parent to leave with the children. The way that I got them back is I had his mental health papers.
There you go.
Put him. Yep.
Documentation.
Yep. And so long gone are the days of Steve Walton saying, "I'm not calling the cops." Long gone are the days. It's at that point. And you have to use it. Footage, cameras, audio, recordings, have it all.
Yeah.
Have it all. Because these people are stupid.
Yeah.
They're stupid. They're going to keep being evil pieces of shit. No matter
think about
what.
it,
And
man.
they don't care about anyone else.
It's not only a threat to you, it's not only a threat to your house, it's a threat to your children. And as a father, what recourse do you have? It's you got to be like that old man from Braveheart. You know what I'm talking about? The dude who's his son was the redhead giant. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be that old guy.
Yeah, man. The old man, the post-apocalyptic old man is the one you don't want to F with. You know what I mean?
That's right. Have you ever seen Sisu? Have you ever seen that movie? That's the one that I have the clip pinned to my ex profile, and it's like the Russians, they called him Koshai. And that guy Koshai, he was a post-apocalyptic old man. It's actually made by the same people who made John Wick. It's worthy of your study, sir. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Christina on the Ghost Squad says, I was 9 months pregnant working. He wasn't. What is these ladies, man? My sister's out here getting treated wrong. I walked all the way home from the train station. We were in the city. He ran out of the door because he heard a car door close and accused me of getting out of a car.
Fuck.
These projecting ass, cowardly, not treating these sisters correctly, abandoning them, projecting on them, cheating on them, treating them like crap.
Doesn't deserve things the box, up their ass. Motherfucker.
No, doesn't deserve the box, ladies. They don't deserve the box. All right, they're somewhere putting things up their ass. And it's
they have a stash of secret dildos. We established that last night.
Yes, Beth. For those of you that don't know, I need to get a clip of Beth. Beth has a chest of ex's dildos. Apparently, he was putting these things up his ass, and so we're going to be selling them on the Dragonstorm store, along with the dildo launcher. And if you guys are unfamiliar with the dildo, we're going to be bringing these around for you guys on our Trainwreck Express tour. This is so you can give the male narc a final exploration of pain and misery and self. When you use your dildo launcher and you fire that thing right up that narc's ass, and it launches them 30 feet into the air, just destroys their prostate, just launches them away, and they're lying there crippled and shaking, and their nervous system awry. And you will have given them the greatest no contact / negative high that narc will ever get. And I hope that one day that these tools of narcissistic abuse recovery become so used, employed across the country that we'll be able to spot a narc by the way they can't walk straight, as they bow leg themselves back and forth like the penguin up the street because they have had a massive Beth's dildo launched up their ass. This is going to be a part of the Bring Back Dueling movement. Guys, please separate the fuck around and find out legislation. And we're going to make this happen. Narcissistic abuse survivors, locked and loaded with love, standing shoulder to shoulder. All right, that narc's going to run out of bullets before he runs out of victims. And we're going to get him. We're going to get them all. They're going to be hiding and huddled like vampires from the sun in basements once we get this legislation passed.
Right up the taint chakra.
Right up the taint chakra. Get your dildo launcher today.
Shit.
If they want to put something up their ass, I say we oblige them. A man that cannot be controlled by sex cannot be manipulated by a woman. Woo!
There you go.
Especially if they're burnt, Papa. Lunar eclipse. The best advice I can give to any woman is to keep papers at a trusted friend's house. I kept his mental records and any personal information, so in case he do this or something like that, or so you would do something or leave me with the kid or the kids. Good.
Smart.
Yeah, honey, you're on point. I'm glad you're a narc slayer. Everyone, lunar eclipse, the narc slayer. I am giving you that title. I need It's Good to Be the Queen. All I have is It's Good to Be the King. I really need new clips. Hail to you, sister.
This town needs an enema.
Yes.
That's right. That is right. Shock the monkey.
Shock that monkey. Oh, I got to make that thing. I got to make that clip. I'm going to do that today. I'm making the Shock the Monkey clip today. Yeah, I mean, people like Lunar Eclipse. She has a dildo launcher. Guarantee it.
Yeah. It's like a tiny trebuchet.
It's like a tiny trebuchet. Yes. Yes. See, this is a soldier, narc slayer right here. All right. Yeah, look, we got to.
Yes.
We got to talk to Beth. She has the chest. She has the ammunition.
There you go.
All right.
We'll make loose seals out of all of them. You seen Walking Dead?
Yeah, make loose seals out of all of them. Oh, Jessica said, make sure to add dynamite and grenades to the dildos. I mean, we're not trying to murder them. We're trying to help them. These male narcs love putting things in their ass. Ladies, come on. You know, in the bedroom, she asked you to throw a strap on in it. This is not about, we don't want to kill them. What's this? You know what it's like? It's like tagging tagging sharks, you know, it's like or whales, you know, like that way we know that you're not going to be the same again. You're not going to be the same again. If you shot a high-powered rifle with a dildo attachment up someone's ass, they are never going to walk the same way again. They're not going to be you will know it's them. They're shitting on donuts every day. All right. They are getting into the car very awkwardly from that point forward. They're not walking to the grocery store without looking like both of their hips have been disconnected.
Right.
This is how we're going to mark these narcs. All right. Get the Dragonstorm dildo launcher today, made with Beth's chest. This is what we're doing.
They're not using the hemorrhoid pillow for what you think they are. It's because this dildo has an exploding tip at the end.
Or you can send your butchiest female friend to kick his ass. I understand that, but no, I think that there's a personal, Papa, there's a personal satisfaction to being the person looking down the scope, aiming it at that perforated truck stop tranny used bike and just firing with, you know, just firing at it. Just being able to tape it, have a kid around, record it, not a kid, have another person around and record it, record the event as they launch through the air and land in a puddle of misery and sadness that will make their inner child cry a little bit harder, which is what they want. I'm gonna stop talking about this. I'm an asshole. All right, let's go.
Well, that's the comedic purpose right there.
That was the comedic purpose. Yeah, I promise, guys. I'm like not serious about. I'm not serious about any of that. I promise you. Yeah. All right, we're moving on. We need some Lisa in our lives. Do we not?
Yes, we do. We
absolutely need Lisa. Lisa's staple of this channel. We love Lisa. We love you. God, all right. Lisa. We are the Trainwreck Express would love to come through Los Angeles, you know, and meet a wonderful creator like such as yourself.
Let me know if you need a big
Can
spoon,
narcissists
Lisa.
become trauma bonded to you? Absolutely. They're humans and they have emotions, even though we don't think so. They can definitely become trauma bonded. It's just the way it affects them is different than it affects us. We believe that we can't let them go because we're trauma bonded to them because we love them. Why can't they let us go? Why are they hoovering? Why are they stalking? Because they're trauma bond. They're obsessed. We believe we were in love when really we were in a trauma bond. They were in a trauma bond but believed they were in love. And the only way to break a trauma bond is to heal that trauma. Narcissists have trauma that goes back to their childhood and oftentimes became trauma bonded to their parents. They also monkey branch from relationship to relationship. They don't heal that trauma. The definition of a trauma bond is someone who trusts and feels affection for someone that they are in a toxic, abusive relationship and cycle with. Narcissists consistently repeat that cycle. Let's talk about how one gets into a trauma bond, the stages of a trauma bond. I have my notes here, so bear with me. Love bombing. Narcissists love bomb us because they believe we are their saviors. They believe we are going to fix them. We're going to change the way they feel about themselves, and they do connect to that feeling. Dependency. Narcissists are so codependent. They have a massive fear of abandonment, and they need us to attach to them just like they attach to us so that we can't just leave them. Manipulation and gaslighting. They believe their own lies. Narcissists have been gaslighting and manipulating people for longer than they can even remember having memories. And yes, that trauma bond doesn't escape them. It builds within them, within each relationship. Giving up. Do you know a narcissist that believes in themselves, that tries to better themselves or has a self-esteem? I don't know any narcissist that has a lower self-esteem than anybody on the planet except for us when we were getting out of a relationship with a narcissist. Loss of sense of self. Narcissists don't know who they are. They look at us to piece them together. They build themselves through every relationship that they have. Emotional addiction. They have addictions to the hits of cortisol and dopamine just like we do, the highs and the lows. They have this addiction to attention and validation. They rage out of control and then swoop us up into this passionate embrace. They need love to hurt. That push and pull is something that they become very addicted to, just like we become addicted to them. The trauma bond doesn't escape them. While they are building one, they can get into one as well. Narcissists don't let us go. They obsess about us, and we don't let them go. We obsess about them. We become addicted to each other. Why? Because we become trauma bonded to one another.
I have to say, have you seen Harlem Nights? Have you seen Harlem Nights?
I don't recognize it by name. Talk about it a little bit.
With Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Red Fox.
If I have, it was when I was younger. Yeah.
All right, you're ruining the joke. All right, then I'm just going to say, for those of you who have seen it, I am willing to change my religion. That cross looks so good on her.
There you go.
Please go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool, man. I find it remarkable that a lot of the stuff that we're saying innately is just stuff that she's echoing. I hadn't heard of Lisa Liu until like maybe 2 weeks ago when you started playing her on the stream with me. But yeah, absolutely. Like she's on point. Everything that we've been talking about, she's right there with it. And then a lot of the stuff that she's talking about, Stephen, I know you have some personal experience in that. So that's your floor, buddy.
Everything that she was talking about is true. And actually that video kind of enlightened me. And I love that immersing myself in this content gives me more information, which then I can digest and then relay to you guys. And today's was that they love trauma. They don't know how to love, which I knew. They don't know how to love. They don't know what love is. They're so traumatized they can't understand it. They can't come to that higher vibration. So while you are in love with them, they're in love with the trauma.
Yeah.
And the pain that they cause. And they are trauma bonded. It's an interesting perspective because I would imagine so. They were trauma bonded to their childhood injuries that were unhealed and unresolved, and therefore they create more. So they create those bonds by destroying other people because they hate themselves and they project their evil and ills. Right. And so they're looking for that. Their only understanding of love is to create pain, is to be hurt. And I just saw a flash of light in my eye. That's crazy. And so that is why, dude, I'm loving going this next level of hitting. And so they're looking for that. That's why they try and traumatize you and destroy you and break you down, so they can consume the lower vibrations, which is not love. It's selfishness. It's ego. It's fear. It's anger.
Right. 100%. We're starting to sound like a broken record here, but they cannot create for themselves what they need, so they need to siphon it from you. Right. And if you're not a healed person, especially if you're in the midst of it, you will crave that relation. You'll crave the desire to please them, to seek validation from them, and then that's what trauma bonds you guys. It's almost like classic sadomasochism, man.
You know what? When I was going through the heat of it, like the first year, I was approached by Drew Taylor, Supreme Heretic, guys. Okay. Please check out Supreme Heretics channel. Drew said, Steve, are you a masochist? do you like being hurt? Like, what are you going through? I was like, maybe I am. I don't know. I love the pain. I don't know what's going on. Lunar Eclipse Paranormal says, the one thing I forgot to say is by keeping records, he lost and I got 100% of the custody of the kids. Good for you, mama. Hail, sister. As you should.
That would not have been a good thing. And hopefully it did not take too long to reverse the bad programming.
Yeah. God bless. Tears represented weakness to him. He couldn't look at me in the eyes when I cried. No, well, right. They represent weakness, but it's also, they don't want to take accountability for hurting you. No, you're the reason you got hurt. You know what I mean? Like all the problems is your fault. It's not their fault, and you're being weak. Don't try and make someone feel guilty when they don't have any empathy.
Oh, totally. And it's that bully that grabs your arm and goes like, "Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?"
That's exactly it.
Same principle.
Yep. Let's see. Papa Cotton, what's the knowledge out there? You need the trans fat. Hail trans fat. You need to cycle your own walnut juice. The lizards take it from the babies. What you're born with, your own, and we should all learn to start that biological cycle in ourselves. Yes, abstinence, and I hear what you're saying. Abstinence is key to attaining higher levels of frequency.
That's true. And Stephen, you personally, that's what you should start to refer to your semen as, walnut juice.
I'm not doing that, Coil. I'm not taking either. Fuck both of you fatties. No, that's disgusting. What's wrong with you people?
You can find walnut juice at your local grocer's freezer. It's next to the Scott meat.
It's right next to Scott's Meats. You too can find yourself walnut juice, Walton's walnut juice. Please check that out. Subscribe to Squirky News Podcast. Oh my God, people are awful. I need some Gina. Gina, make me feel better.
Gina,
I'm a man. I'm a man, Gina. Thank you, God.
She bites her lip. I have no more knees, man.
Talk down to me, Gina. Just please once. All right. All right. Back to Lisa. So what is this? Papa, don't instigate the women here. You understand you're dealing. We are victims of abuse. Okay. We are damaged. Okay. You don't want. These ladies are willing to go out there and fire, use dildos up narcs' asses. This is a Dragon Storm thing. I'm just making a joke. I'm just making a joke. That's all. I'm making. Jessica, you got to calm that down, honey. You're too smart for that shit. See, that's what scares me. Jessica could be a successful serial killer because she's very intelligent. I couldn't. I have a slightly murderous side towards narcissistic sociopaths or psychopaths. I feel the same way about narcissistic sociopaths.
I feel the same way about pedophiles. So I get it. I get it.
It's a Lunar, listen, channel members, you need to stand up, all right? Don't be a bad example to these ladies. Channel members, listen, we're just joking here. This is a joke. All right? The Dragonstorm dildo launcher will be available, but it's a joke, okay? It's not, oh, Jesus Christ, man. I feel like I've started something bad here. She said, I think I'm going to go find an Asian guy whenever I feel like dating again. Well, if you pick up a ladyboy, Deborah.
Shit.
And that story has nothing to do with Walton. There we go. Go get yourself an Asian guy. You never know. You might find a well-hung Asian guy. You might ride outside the norm. And if that happens, let us know. We want to see it, not him. I mean, we want to see him, not it. Fuck my life.
I believe in Taste the Rainbow, so rock on.
No, I'm not. No,
No, go past this. Past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Water guns. Yes, water guns. That's it. Super soakers. CJH, hail the fourth wave. He says that gay voice was very accurate when something you're not telling us. Well, no. Listen, no, I'm not. That's not. No, I'm a man. All right, I'm a pagan man. I'm a real man. All right.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
That's not the truth. Okay, we're not doing that. Oh my God. Deborah, Deborah can find a BTS lookalike Asian guy. Oh yeah. You can order them now. You're gonna become a passport sister? I'm becoming a passport, bro. That is going down. That's right. I'm a pegging man. No, not pegging. I'm not a narc. I don't put things in my ass. A pagan, Pagan, pagan man. I'm a pagan man. We're not starting this. No lady boys, no tree effers, no coffee enemas. This is not what we're doing. I'm a pagan man. It's not fucking funny, goddammit. It's not. Stop with that shit. Oh my God. Lisa, stare at me. Lisa, ash a cigarette on my face while you're stepping on my chest and tell me how much I'm worthless. I love you. Thank you so much. Let's see. Should we do one more video before we close out?
You should play that George Lucas thing.
I should play the George Lucas thing. All right, We're going to play the George Lucas thing.
Thank you.
I am. You're welcome. All right, guys, we're going to go into the nerd aspect, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is my fault. But listen to what he has to say. It's applicable to life.
Oh, excuse me. All right, let me get through the intro. I don't want to get copyright. All right. Hopefully this won't get taken down.
No, it's not. It's original music. So
Okay. All right. Are we ready?
Surrounds us, flows from us, controls individuals, yet we have free will. We have a destiny if we want to follow it. We live for a reason and must discover what it is. It looks like it was done when I started episode 1.
Oh, okay.
Because it looks like it's referring to episode 1. And a lot of this, like this thing about the force, you know, and all living things that surround us is really just a capsule of what was said in episode 5, the core of the force. I mean, you got the dark side, the light side. One is selfless, one is selfish. And you want to keep them in balance.
That's human. That's so human, that knowledge right there. You know, good is selfless. Evil is go ahead.
George Lucas is a student of the human condition, which is why I think a lot of his films resonate, and it's particularly the Star Wars saga. It's our modern mythology. You've said it yourself a number of times, Stephen.
Mm-hmm.
But then he goes on to explain the characteristics of the light side and the dark side, and it reminds me a lot of the videos that you play, you know, and you just have to imagine he's not talking about, you know, Yoda, and just imagine he's talking about life, and you'll get some real insight out of this. Go ahead.
All right.
What happens when you go to the dark side is it goes out of balance, and then you get really selfish and you forget about everybody, and you ultimately lead yourself, because when you get selfish, you get stuff, or you want stuff. And when you want stuff and you get stuff, then you are afraid somebody's going to take it away from you. Whether it's a person or a thing or a particular pleasure, experience. Once you become afraid that somebody's going to take it away from you, or you're going to lose it, then you start to become angry. Especially if you're losing it. And that anger leads to hate.
Oh man, that is so right.
I was telling you, man.
We get frustrated, you know, when we feel possessive or when we feel selfish. You know, we get to a point where it's, I don't want this taken from me, whether it's sex, whether it's a person, a drug, or whatever it is in your life. And that is a fear of loss that creates anger.
That's right. And what you feel possessive over, you end up becoming obsessive over. And then you want it to stay as it is. You want to freeze it in time. You'll threaten people. You might even go to lengths. You'll injure people. You'll kill people to keep it as it is, because you're afraid of change, because you can't adapt. You're not adaptive at all. You know, and he knew this back in 1977. Keep it going, buddy.
All right.
And hate leads to suffering. Mostly on the part of the person who's selfish, because you spend all of your time being afraid of losing everything you've got instead of actually living. Where joy, by giving to other people, you can't think about yourself, and therefore there's no pain. But the pleasure factor of greed and of selfishness is a short-lived experience.
Yes.
Therefore, you're constantly trying to replenish it. But of course, the more you replenish it, the harder it is to. So you have to keep upping the ante. You're actually afraid of the pain of not having the joy. So that is...
Dude, he just described narcissistic fuel having to increase the audacity or the depravity in order to sustain a higher high. Dude. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
This guy is wise beyond words, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Is ultimately the core of the whole dark side, light side of the force. And everything flows from that. Obviously, the Sith are always unhappy because they never get enough of anything they want. Mostly their selfishness centers around power and control.
Yep.
And the struggle is always to be able to let go of all that stuff. Of course, that's the problem. Anakin ultimately is. You're allowed to love people, but you're not allowed to possess them. And what he did is he, fell in love and then married her and then became jealous. And then he saw in his visions that she was going to die. He couldn't stand losing her. So in order to not lose her, he made a pact with the devil to be able to become all powerful. But of course, when he did that, she didn't want to have anything to do with him anymore. Once you were powerful, being able to bring her back from the dead, well, if I can do that, then I can be Emperor of the Universe. I can get rid of the Emperor. I can do everything. I can make everything the way I want it. And once you do that, you know, you'll never be satiated. You're always going to be consumed with this driving desire to have more stuff and be afraid that others are going to take it away from you. And of course they are. Because every time you get two Sith together, you have the master, you have the apprentice, and the apprentice is always trying to recruit another apprentice to join with him to kill the master. Right. The master knows that he's basically everybody below him wants his job. The only way to overcome the dark side is through discipline. The dark side is pleasure, biological, and temporary, and easy to achieve. The light side is joy, everlasting, and difficult to achieve. A great challenge. Must overcome laziness, give up quick pleasures, and overcome fear, which leads to hate.
If you enjoyed this episode and
wow.
Yeah, dude. So he's spitting truths. Now he's framing it in mythological and metaphorical terms, but that idea that once you realize that you can control things, you just want to control it more and more, and that you'll recruit, you know, in this instance he's talking about Sith, but they'll create an echo chamber. They'll garner flying monkeys to do their dirty work, you know, because they're in a constant state of suffering and they're in a constant state of pain. And they think the only way that they can manage that is if they control everything. And when you're in that frame of mind, compassion is weakness and love is unattainable, you know, and I think it's interesting they showed Luke Skywalker at the end, because if you see in Return of the Jedi, it wasn't until he, you know, had Vader submitting and he cut off Vader's hand, and then he looked at his own mechanical hand, that he realized what he was doing.
Yeah.
And he had to rise above it in order to, you know, a lot of people were like, when did Luke become a Jedi? If you watch the movie, the Emperor actually confirms his rank as Jedi. He goes, so be it, Jedi. There you go.
So right. The Emperor did confirm his rank because he threw down his sword. He said, I'm not going to kill my father. I'm not going to do what you want. And Palpatine was a narcissistic psychopath.
Of course
narcissistic psychopath.
Was.
Yeah,
absolutely,
you know what I mean?
He was.
Yeah. So you know, the manipulation and control that he had over Anakin, like that was his lifetime supply. That was his favorite supply.
Oh,
you know, and so Anakin reclaiming himself, or at least making up for as much as he could by killing the Emperor, was done because, again, generational trauma. The son healed that generational trauma.
Yes, he did.
He recognized the path to the dark side. He recognized what it was in him that was pain was being passed on, and how he could change it.
Yes,
and he was willing to sacrifice his life in order to attain that knowledge.
Yeah. And then Vader in turn gave his life.
Lead by example.
Yes, sir. I mean, you see why this is such a powerful set of imagery. And, you know, to kind of like promote your book a little bit, this is the kind of thing that they're trying to subvert by invading modern mythology. You know, they're trying to rob Anakin of his victory. They're trying to, you know, undermine the story of what happens when you give in to temptation. Now, it's interesting that you said like Anakin was his lifetime supply, and you can see it when episode 3 he goes, I pledge myself to your teachings, and like Palpatine almost has an orgasm. He's like, you know,
right?
He's like, you know, getting off on that shit because he knows he has him. You know, and it's
Dude,
interesting.
I got an idea.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, go ahead, brother. Well, I'm sorry. Finish your thought.
No. Well, it's just interesting that Anakin almost didn't intend to be evil. He was trying to save the life of his wife, but then George Lucas points out once Anakin realized that he could have the power to over life and death, then he can do anything. He can make shit the way he wants to be. And he's like, Padme, let's rule the galaxy. And Padme is like, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? You're not the man I married. You know?
Dude, let's do film reviews of the Star Wars, the Star Wars trilogies, the only two.
Yeah, let's do it.
And let's do it from this perspective.
Absolutely. I love that idea. And truthfully, whether we do like a watch party where we throw out like time coordinates or we find a site, as long as we pause it every now and then, I think we can get around the copyright thing because we're doing it.
We'll do frames.
Commentary.
I think we'll do still frames, maybe. Something like that.
We can do that too. I mean, like both of us are like hyper familiar with every line of that trilogy, right? Every line of both trilogies. So I know I am. I'm down for it. Yeah.
All right. And also, guys, I want to let you know that Narcissist Tarot is going to be a thing. I haven't got a schedule down for it, but enough people have showed interest. And I appreciate that. Thank you. I love the breadth and beauty and wonderful cultivation of differences that we have over here at Dragonstorm Community. So if it's not your thing, I appreciate, I'd appreciate a like or, a share or whatever to somebody who might. But we're going to be doing that in the future because I've been reading Narcs for years now, so I might as well do it. I might as well just, bring that knowledge.
Yeah.
What is up? Oh, shit. Loyal Soldier in the chat. RR.
There we go.
Vader, the first trash human villain. Globalist prototype. A transhuman villain. Yeah. Globalist prototype. Their fear leads them to hate and lesbians, and their hate of the lesbian leads to their suffering. Pretty strong confirmation of universals. Go ahead, Cole. You got that.
I think he means plebeians, like plebs.
Plebeian.
Plebs. So transhumanism is basically a fancy word for cyborg, like incorporating mechanical elements.
I'm having problems reading today. I don't know what's going on.
No. It's all good. It's all good, man. But that idea that we need to somehow like bionically enhance ourselves, and that's very much out of the Greys playbook. The little Greys that you see running around, they're basically biochemical, bioorganic AI. They're not actual living beings. They're more like thing than they are organism. They don't need to eat. They're programmed to think certain ways. There's a real motion to try to manage the potential of the human organism into something that's useful. First, they want to cull the population. There's just too many of us to manage. So they're going to kill us through food. They're going to kill us through medicine. They're going to convince us to sterilize ourselves through like sex change operations. And, there's 99 genders, so I don't really need my fucking gonads, whatever.
Oh, God. Yeah, right.
Yeah. All that sort of thing. Because they deem us as useless eaters because we're not contributing to the New World Order and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? None of that's going to come to pass. You know why? Because of people like you, Steven, people like me, Coil, and people like the lovely chat. We're a symptom that the corner is being turned. That shit's not going to fucking fly anymore. There's too much light here to be contained. It's going to bust wide open right into the fourth dimension, man. I'm excited. I'm charged up.
So am I, brother.
Yeah.
So am I. Thank you, RR, Loyal Soldier. Good to see you, man. Yeah. I knew he'd get it. I knew as soon as I fumbled the first word, I was like, I just got to keep going. And I just kept going with it. And I was like, I missed it. But thank you. Appreciate you, RR. Thank you for being, you know how Walton can get. I'm seeing cross-eyed today. Let's see. CJH says, how do I let the narc know that I'm putting boundaries up without setting off any red flags? A little bit of, I know you know that I know, but not enough that cause problems. Well, first, number one, go no contact if you can. No contact whatsoever. That'll establish a boundary. No. No, narcissists hate the word no. All right.
That's right.
So yeah, that you can do. If you're in a situation where you cannot avoid them, then gray rock. Make yourself unpalatable. Do not put out any lower vibrational energy, any lower emotions, anything that comes from a place of fear. Stay cool. Stay either cool-headed, even keel, or just be happy. Of course, being happy will set them off too, but it might push them away from you, because if you are putting out positive energy, knowing your worth, then they can't consume you. There's nothing for them to do.
Right. I would also say this is an instance of the ultimate actions speak louder than words. And I would just start acting as if, and you don't even owe them an explanation. Just act as if. They don't need to necessarily internalize your internal change, your internal shift. It will be evidenced by your actions, by your attitude. Because honestly, Siege, if you sat down and tried to explain it to them, they're not going to hear it anyway. And they're going to look for openings to argue with you about it. They're going to try to convince you that you haven't changed, that it's just a fad, or it's just a phase, or you'll be back next week. Anything to upset you and knock you off your high vibration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just keep to your truth. Walk with stride. Walk with pride, man. Let your balls swing, that kind of thing. Put some bass in your voice. Yeah. Square up your shoulders, chin up a little bit, that kind of thing. That's a savage.
I love you, Coyle.
I love you too,
Coyle. Yeah, I think he's so elevated. So that's his extraterrestrial soul spirit. And then the nads get involved. And once the balls get involved, he comes down to the third. But it's still knowledge.
It is. It is. That's called frame. A male must possess frame. And, being weak and capitulating to, even male narcs, I would call like bitches. So capitulating to bitches. Yeah. It caves you in as a human,
RR says, let your balls swing like Big Mike's when he's with Dancing with Ellen. Yeah.
That's right. Wiggle, wiggle.
Boinga, boinga, boinga. That's a roll quarter test. We need to get a West Moody roll quarter test over here. Quarter roll
gender test. Check.
Yes, there's the gender check in process right now. Big Mike is dancing on Ellen's stage. Deborah says, narcopath males aren't kings. They have no crown. No, they're not. They live through fear. They're the emperor in reverse. They live through ego, destruction, control, abuse. They're not kings. They're worms. RR says 100% males need to keep their frame.
Yep.
And yes, the quarter roll test will be a thing. Absolutely. Let's see. We'll a couple more comments, and then we're going to end it. But there was something. I think she already figured it out, but I just want to mention it. Lunar Eclipse says to the other panelists, do you have a channel too, or do you have both have this one? Well, this is my channel. This is one of two. I have this one and author Stephen Walton. Not really doing much over there at the moment, but Immortal Coil does have a channel, and he is willing to tell you all about it.
Yeah, totally.
In the description. It's also
in the description
in the chat.
Yeah. So, Immortal Coil, Savage Spirituality. I have a number of shorts where I'm just kind of popping off one-liners, like philosophical things, food for thought, seeds of wisdom, that kind of thing. My live streams, like I said, they usually occur late at night, Saturday nights if you're on the West Coast, or early AM Sunday if you're on the East Coast. And Steven's my co-host there as well, but we go more into metaphysical and spiritual topics. It's not necessarily all about narc survival, but it's more about the evolution of the human journey, the creation of the universe, hidden history, extraterrestrial contact, psychic skills, developing those things, real like non-physical ability, beyond just the human organism, the history of the human organism, the division, the thing that created the human organism to begin with, as well as the extraterrestrial elements. Yeah. So we go into that, and it's kind of a similar format where I'll have like a topic of the week, but then like the chat takes over and they start asking questions because everybody finds it like eminently interesting. Once I start getting into those kind of things, I kind of scratch the surface of some of that, like as far as talking about like spirit picking out generational and familial lines, bloodlines, that kind of thing. But it goes like way beyond that on my channel. It's sort of like occupying the Art Bell space, the Jedi Council, as it were. Then I have a number of videos that like my modern videos. I used to be like an entertainment sort of critic, but that's not so hip because I tried to incorporate spiritual lessons into entertainment clips, and it just Hollywood's not that evolved anymore. There's not that much.
He said it's not that hip.
It's not that hip. No. I'm a hip cat.
I just want to say that, I just want to say that Immortal Coil seeds are fruitful and plentiful. So please, ladies, understand that's the astral lean mean peen. All right. They come from Alpha Centauri for this one. That's how special he is.
Renowned throughout the cosmos. Yeah.
Dude, intergalactic stud. Christina and Sun Ghost Squad says, yep, X told me he was going to the hospital and was having a heart attack, and I told them everything is in your head. When he came back to the doctor told him it was stress basically in his head. Yeah, well, they'll do that too. Like especially if they feel like you're with somebody else or they need attention or they need to take you away from your friends or they just need to create misery. Yeah, they're going to the hospital. Something happened to me.
Yeah, they'll disrupt funerals. They'll disrupt weddings. Anytime the spotlight's not on them, they'll figure out a way to fuck it up and make you look at them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jessica says narcopaths are probably. Yeah. Yes, they are. CJH says what sucks is when you meet a potential person at work and then you remember the age-old rule and don't date coworkers. Hell with that. Go date a coworker, dude. If you can slide in it, if you're trying to. Slide in it there, CJ. Don't be afraid of that. Okay, just understand what you might get into. If she's crazy, might be a bad experience.
Can always get a different job.
Thank you very much, Luder. You got yourself a new subscriber there, Mortal Coil. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hit me up on X too. I really want to work with you guys.
Papa, you should probably listen to Papa Cotton. His wisdom is sound.
There you go.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining us today. And I've had a lot of fun. And once again, when things come into your life, when negative people come into your life, toxic, narcissistic, when they're trying to provoke you, when they're going to extremes in order to get your attention, understand it's because you have the power. You have more power than them. They need your attention. They are addicted. They are obsessed to getting some kind of reaction out of you or creating some kind of misery and strife because they hate themselves. Yep. And if you just remember that and you react you respond accordingly, then you're always going to be okay. Follow your path. Follow your path in life, and what you're meant to be doing. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You know where you're supposed to, what direction. You know what doors are opening, and we all have that intuition. Don't ignore the red flags. Keep your boundaries up. Realize that if you love someone, that doesn't mean that they love you or they even understand what love is. Because if you are a healed, evolved person, you're up here. Your love is up here. You're giving everything. You love them from your soul. And narcissistic or toxic people are in love with trauma and drama. And they want to be degraded and made to feel bad and live with cycles of defeat and not achieve anything and create generational or support and propagate generational trauma. That's what they do. And that's just not how we roll over here at Dragonstorm. Choo-choo coming through the Trainwreck Express.
Right.
Right, Immortal Coil?
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You gotta honor yourself so that you can break the cycle. And then your healing will help heal others. That's always the way it goes. It's from the inward out, just like Source. We come from Source. Source is inside. Then we explode outwards. Absolutely, sir.
Hail to Jeff. Actually, we're about to close out, but I'm glad to see you, buddy. We're going to be streaming again a couple more times this week. This is this week we're available for that. And Papa Cotton, I know you're right. They're going to duck up your money. They're going to duck it up. Don't let a woman duck up your money. All right. Thank you, brother. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you. Yeah. So let me see. Hold on. There was one other comment. Yes. Are both of you under your channels here on X? On X at Lodonis.
Yes.
And at Immortal Coil.
At Immortal Coil. Yeah.
Yep. Hook up with us. Let's start communicating, networking, because I'd love to talk with you guys. Let's have these panels. To just exchange subs. Let's do this. You know, Mortal Coil and I came from a group of YouTubers that started rising up in 2018. And 2019, 2021, we knew how to network, operate with others, and create spheres of influence, create spheres of people, fellow creators who can support, help, you know, and really grow something. So the spirituality, the paranormal, tarot, these things are all in vain with Dragonstorm. And
we're on the lookout for metaphysicians to help spread the message.
We're going to send Jessica to school and then record her, and then we're going to record her.
Yeah. You know, narcissistic abuse is a very serious subject, and we're totally committed to that. But there's a human spiritual evolutionary component underlying all of this. And especially on my channel, my program, that's something that I'd like to emphasize, you know. So let's talk offline. Let's get our ducks in a row and help raise the vibration of this motherfucker.
Yeah, man, let's do this. All right, creating healing, looking after each other, being positive, and building ourselves, our self-esteem, our character, becoming the best version of ourselves by understanding the spiritual, energetic nature or lack thereof of narcissists, and what we can do as survivors and thrivers of narcissistic abuse, pushing forward, becoming better, learning more about ourselves, and creating a community of healing and support for one another. Yeah, and with that, I would just like to say thank you all very much for being here. Please remember to support each other. You know, give a helping hand to those who deserve it. Remember, actions, not words. Recognize those red flags. Keep your boundaries up, and understand toxic people are toxic people, and they're just going to keep doing toxic things. That should not affect your energy or resonance. You are protected by the divine if you are doing what you are supposed to do to heal better, to grow your soul in this life. And that's what we're here. We are Dragonstorm. I am Lodonis Ravenwolf Dragonstorm, you seer and sage. Hail to my fellow survivors and thrivers from narcissistic abuse. I need y'all to know your worth. Be good to each other. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your ass. Be good to each other and suffer no fools. Thank you very much. We are here for your desire. We are here to keep the vibrations going higher. We are the Shepards of Fire. Choo, Beth. You can't come into my chat at the very end. You can't. Listen, honey, I will go into overtime simply because you're here. Beth. Choo, baby, coming through. My toxic twin train wreck. You can't do this to me, honey. I'm supposed to stop the show. But like I said, look, wash your hands and wash your ass, all right? Look, I want you to tie me up and punch me when you make love to me, all right? I want you to talk down to me the way that I need it, Beth. I love you, Beth. Come earlier next time. And I don't mean that as a pun. I'm dead serious. Like, just wash your hands, wash your ass.